In 1945, the United States Army needed to solve a problem. Calculating ballistics trajectories for artillery, the precise mathematics of where a shell would land, took human mathematicians days of painstaking calculation by hand. The electronic numerical integrator and computer, commonly referred to as the ENIAC, that you see behind me, was supposed to change that. The world's first general-purpose electronic digital computer fills the entire room. 1,800 square feet of vacuum tubes, switches, and cables. It could theoretically perform calculations thousands of times faster than any human. There was just one problem. Nobody knew how to program it. So the Army turned to 6 women: Kay McNulty, Jean Jennings, Betty Holberton, Marlon Westcott, Frances Billis, and Ruth Lichterman had all been working as human computers, mathematicians who performed complex calculations entirely by hand. They were selected in 1945 to figure out how to make the ENIAC actually work. There were no manuals, no programming languages, no established methods of any kind. They studied the machine's logical diagrams and physical blueprints, and essentially invented programming from scratch. Kay McNulty developed subroutines, reusable blocks of code that are still fundamental to programming today. Betty Holberton created the first software application and invented breakpoints for debugging. The same technique Grace Hopper's team would make famous 2 years later. Jean Jennings later led the team that converted ENIAC into a stored program computer. Marlon Westcott and Ruth Lichterman co-led the first public demonstration of the ENIAC in 1946. Frances Billis physically configured the machine's complex logic and wiring by hand. They invented algorithms, flowcharts, and subroutines, the foundational concepts of modern coding. And then history forgot them. For decades, their contributions were ignored. When press photos from the ENIAC demonstration circulated, people assumed the women standing next to the machine were models, not programmers, not the people who made it work. It took until 1997, 50 years later, for all 6 to be inducted into the Women in Technology International Hall of Fame. The ENIAC Six didn't just program a computer, they invented programming. How many of these women have you heard of? Perhaps, if you're a student, you could research these women and write about them, and the ENIAC computer, as an extra credit project. This is history that should be shared. I'm Professor Paula. This has been Dumb It Up. Have a good day.